Hello, everyone. Let's talk about modeled writing. So, modeled writing is used to demonstrate a strategy or the process of writing for students, and it would be considered the I do portion of an I do, we do, you do gradual release of responsibility model. When you're thinking about your writing unit, you might want to consider where you might be doing some modeled writing throughout your unit. It can be used, as I said, just to kind of show the process. So you might walk students through the steps of brainstorming, planning, and drafting. And then you might go back and go through revising and editing. And depending on your grade level will depend on how you might move through the process. Modeled writing could also be used to just be showing one specific strategy that you're doing in a mini lesson and just to model or demonstrate your teaching point. So let's talk about a few of the aspects of modeled writing. So it's going to, as I said, demonstrate a piece of writing or a strategy of writing. It's also going to be modeled at the approximate class level. So when you think about how your students or where your students are on their level of writing ability, you want to think about 80% of your class. Where are they in their writing? So if we're in a lower level grade, like kindergarten or first grade, are they mostly all writing with pictures? Are they doing pictures and labels? Are they scribbling a little bit or doing some letter strings? And in second grade, think about how many words they're putting on a page. Think about their sentence structure, vocabulary, and just what the paper even looks like that they're writing. And then you're going to use you're going to do your modeled writing a little bit above where most of your students might be. And then, of course, if you're teaching a new strategy, that's something that students might not be doing, but you're going to teach them in your modeled piece of writing. And then finally, it's written by the teacher only with Think Aloud. So you're not going to invite students to add anything to your writing. This is strictly the teacher thinking, writing, using the pen only, and then thinking aloud and explicitly sharing with them what you are thinking and what you're doing as you are writing your modeled piece. I just wanted to show you a few examples that are on some different levels and tell you that yes, they are also going to be written similarly or on paper that is similar to what the students would be using. And then of course it's going to be nice and big so the students can see it. Now I am not showing necessarily any digital writing, but that is a way that you can do your modeled writing as well. So let's start with the one at the top. This is a kindergarten to first grade level, and it's a how-to writing. So you can see how the paper is written like book pages because that's what they're doing. They're writing a how-to book. They have a really large portion for their picture on the cover here, and then they have a little bit of a smaller portion for the other pages. Now, this might be, some students might actually have a little bit of a bigger square for a picture and then only 2 or 3 lines. It really depends on your class and then on the student. So you're going to choose the paper that is most similar to what most of the class is using to write. And then over here on the side, the review of the Cat in the Hat. So this is a book review. So it might be written in the form of an article or even a letter. Sometimes this is only one page. It could continue on to another or even 3. And so this paper is very similar to what the student might be using. And then this one looks like it's about a end of second grade to third grade piece of writing. And it looks like it's an opinion essay of some sort. It's the first body paragraph. So you can see how there's a lot more lines on the page. There is no picture. They have this phrase to begin. And so they probably were, after having written this, they might have gone back and talked about that or had the students come and find them. And they had underlined some things here for some other strategies that they were discussing. So what I have on here as well is that a portion of your modeled writing could be written ahead of time. And it really just depends on what you need to show your students and the time that you have. So you don't necessarily want the students to be there to watch you write a whole piece of writing if all you're going to do is talk about one little strategy that's in 2 places. If you really want to see them to see what you're doing from the beginning, then you might not want to have anything written ahead of time. But it can also be used throughout several lessons and added onto over several lessons. That's going to look different depending on the grade level that you are teaching. if we go back to this how-to, perhaps they would have just gone through and sketched the pictures of the steps first, which they didn't do that here, but you could have done the pictures of the steps first, and then the next day gone back and added the words. A narrative story could be written the same way, or they could write the beginning part of the narrative story and then write the words, and then, or sketch the part and then write the words. If you are doing a higher grade level and you wanted to write it out ahead of time so that you could just go in and add. So maybe you were teaching them how to go back and revise their draft and add more details or more opinion or have evidence from the text or something like that. So you wouldn't necessarily need them to watch you write the draft if that's what the lesson was consisting of for that day. So I hope this has been helpful in really thinking about what modeled writing is and how it can be used. And if you have any questions or would like more information, please comment below or reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. So on Instagram is Teaching to Transform LLC, and Facebook is Teaching to Transform as well. And we also have a writing group there called Transform Writing K through 8, which we would love to have you join.